been such a long time since I've done an update. I've just been busy, too exhausted, too fatigued with chronic illness, as you can imagine. So I think the last video I did, I was tapering prednisolone, but before that I think the query had been if I had MS. So thankfully I did not have MS. It turns out I have something called visual snow syndrome, which is sort of like a neurological thing, but when I went to see the neurologist, he immediately told me what it was, and as soon as I looked up all the symptoms, I was like, that's exactly what it is. So I've been having all these symptoms with, like, there is terminology for this, but I'm not prepared for this video. I just decided to do this. But so there is terminology for what these things are called, but I was having these symptoms of, I'd be walking down the hallway and the door frame of the hall, the door frames walking down the hallway would be like repeating themselves, but like almost ghostly like. So as soon as I explained that to him, he knew what it was. But I was also having like speech problems where my words would be getting caught in my throat, almost like a stutter, but not. That was helpful. So and then I would be having like tingling my hands, my feet, my arms, my face, and it would spread all down my leg. So just lots of different symptoms, floaters, and yeah, it turns out it's visual snow syndrome. So if you look it up, you will see what these are, and part of it is migraine as well. So he diagnosed me with migraine with aura and visual snow syndrome. And he said that the best way to treat this is by going to bed at the exact same time every night and waking up at the exact same time every morning, eating the same foods, avoiding like alcohol, which I don't drink, avoiding like, certain triggers like smoking, alcohol. One thing I have noticed, I don't smoke, I don't drink, but one thing I have noticed is I cannot take caffeine anymore. So if the minute I even have like a 1 cup of coffee, that's it. My face, as I start noticing it, because one of the things I was noticing, it was like my brain was like twitching. So my whole face will start twitching, and I will start like, and even without the caffeine, more and more I will have symptoms for this visual snow. So I'll get tinnitus. Sometimes I'll get like this feeling, it's like I've got hair across my neck, and I'll try and wipe it away, but it's not. It's just the nerve. So yeah, more and more I get these feelings. So I'll sometimes know when things are going to start triggering. When I get all these tinglings and stuff, and new ones just keep happening all the time. But yeah, if I even, like I was on holiday with my mum and we went into Costa and she got her caramel frappe and I asked for mine, and I remember to ask for it with an oat milk, but I forgot to ask for it decaf. And that was me the rest of the day, face tingling, brain twitching. So yeah, can't have caffeine. So that's kind of what's been happening with that. I have been switched in terms of my dermatomyositis. I had been on methotrexate and developed, I can never say it, pneumonitis through the methotrexate. So was really ill with that, which made my steroids go back up, and had to come off the methotrexate. So I'll never be able to take methotrexate ever again, because some people just develop a lung reaction with it, and I'm just so happy to be one of them. So I've now been switched to, I can never say it, Amprilomast, Otezla, for my psoriatic arthritis. So I'm still on rituximab for the dermatomyositis and to keep my lung disease from progressing. Currently on 10 milligrams of steroid and on the Otezla, which is 60 milligrams a day. and it's not really doing, it's not taking away the psoriasis completely. But my joints aren't too bad, so that's something. And I think one of the side effects of it is it can cause a bit of weight loss, and I have been seeing a bit of weight loss, but I had been having weight loss before I started it, so I'm not sure if that is related to that or not. So we'll see how we go with that. I'm still quite early on with that, so I'm having a bit of stomach upset, and that is tablet form. So we'll see how we go with that. So that's how things are going with that. So that's the update with health. And I did have a heart MRI at the start, early on in the year. And when I went for my rheumatology appointment in March, they told me that there was heart changes, there was something up with my heart, but they didn't want to tell me what it was because they want a cardiologist to tell me because they're the experts. But still, I haven't seen a cardiologist. And that's when I really hit crisis. Anxiety through the roof, because that's where my anxieties lie, is with the heart stuff. And so I really wasn't coping at this point. I was like, I don't know if I can cope with this. Mental health took a bit of a dip at this point. And that's when I found God. So that's the biggest change that's happened, and my life has changed since then. Anxiety levels have changed since then. I'd never been, apart from high school, I think at one point during high school I went to Scriptures Union classes and stuff, groups, but since then nothing. And I was just sitting on this exact spot on my couch, 19th of February this was actually, and I was sitting here and really was just had this urge to buy a Bible, and I did, and I haven't looked back. I now go to church every Sunday when I can, if I'm feeling well. Read my Bible every day, morning and night, take some theology courses online, and it just gives me so much comfort. It helps with all my health anxiety, and yeah, it's just really changed my life. And I'll probably do a video more on that in more depth at a later time, but yeah, that's what's been helping get me through all this health stuff, because I'd really just got to the point where I was like, I can't take any more of this. It was too much. But that's my health update, life update. So whatever you get to do today, I hope you get to spend your spoons on something fun. Bye.